We are halfway through the year already, so you know what that means.
Time to look back at what our favorite movies of the year are so far and what we're looking forward to for the rest of 2025. Don't go anywhere. B&B Movie Reviews is coming up next.
Can you believe it? We are halfway through the year. So let us look back at the last 6 months of 2025 and discuss what our top movies of the year are so far. All right, Brad, 2025. Can you believe we are halfway through? We say this every time we do this show because it literally feels like the first half of the year goes by so fast.
Yes, it did go by fast. I feel like it's been a pretty great year, though. Do you feel like it's been a good year for movies?
I feel the same way. I think like last year, because we talked about this off air a couple of times, we were like, at this point last year, we were like, I don't know about this year. It got better as the year went on.
A little bit better. I was looking at my top 10 from 2024, and I'm not really satisfied with it at this moment in 2025. Whereas I feel like my top 8 of 2025 already could compete with last year's top 10.
Hey, that says a lot.
I'm feeling good. I actually feel like we've seen at least one movie that's the best film or one of the best films of the last 25 years. I'm not going to spoil that immediately.
I think I know where you're going, though.
Yeah, this year has delivered in film.
All right, so let's get into the conversation. Top 5. Who do you actually know? I'm going to go ahead and pull out our phone. This is more of a laid back episode, so I'm going to pull up my letterbox.
Is that just because you don't have it memorized like I do?
Oh, you have yours memorized.
Of course I do.
Oh,
I did my homework.
You did your homework. What? So who you want to kick off?
I'll kick things off.
You'll kick it off. Okay.
My 5th favorite film of the year is a film that we spoke about just the other week.
Okay.
It is my most anticipated film, or it was my most anticipated film of the year. Yeah, it's James Gunn's Superman. Like, would I like James Gunn's Superman to be number 1 of my favorite films of the year? Sure.
Of course.
But cinema gods provided something else that I didn't even know I needed. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But Superman itself does deliver on what I needed it to deliver on. It does understand the character of Superman. It understands his spirit. It understands his heart. It understands the universe that he populates and why he is important within that universe. It's incredibly strange, like most James Gunn movies, but not in a cloying way. I adore James Gunn's Superman, and David Cornsweet is a perfect Superman. Rachel Brosnahan's a perfect Lois Lane. And I don't know. I know you liked it too.
I loved it. I mean, it didn't crack my top 5 of the year so far. It's definitely in my top 10. And like you were saying, speaking to this year is really strong with movies. Because I think, if I'm going by Letterboxd, if we're doing star ratings, I have like 8 4-star movies, and Superman is right there in my, firmly in my top 10.
Superhero movies take up too much of the conversation.
It really does.
Right? And I'm like many people, I'm ready to move on, but I can't deny that this film does the superhero type of story exceptionally.
And like you say, just give us good movies. I don't care if it's a superhero movie, a drama, a comedy, just give me a good movie.
And I think we're at a moment in time where we need Superman, where Superman is incredibly relevant again. I look back at that first issue of Action Comics. I've reread it several times in the last batch of months. And, there's this panel that's been going around a lot online this past week. I think it's the 5th or 6th panel from the first issue where you get like this little close-up of the Man of Steel in his suit. And it talks about how Superman is a champion of the oppressed and he helps those in need.
Yeah.
And like that's the heroism we need to
right
seek.
now. Yeah.
And the fact that this character has been so politicized, the fact that the concept of kindness has been politicized in 2025 really speaks to how divided we are as a culture.
Yeah.
And I think we need to just get back to going like, you know what, the golden rule is pretty good. Treat others like the way you want to be treated. And go for Superman. Don't go for the billionaires. Don't model your life after Lex Luthor.
Yeah, lead with kindness and sympathy and empathy. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think the movie is very poignant and very timely. So yeah, that's your number 5. So going to my number 5 of the year so far, starting with the streaming movie, I've got to go to Hulu. I mean, I talked about this. I talked about this a lot when it comes to like where the Predator franchise was just 7 years ago.
Who saw this coming?
Who saw this coming? Dan Trachtenberg gave us an animated anthology movie, Predator, Killer of Killers, that I just simply, I think this takes Predator to a new level. I think it really expands the mythology. I think it takes us into a new direction that the Predator franchise has never been. It really, I think it reinvigorates the franchise and excites fans for where this could possibly go with the next movie that's coming out, which we'll talk about in the second half of this episode.
We talked about this when we reviewed Killer of Killers, but when Shane Black's The Predator came out, we were like, yo, this franchise is dead.
It's dead. It's over. He literally killed the franchise.
Yeah, and then Trachtenberg comes back with Prey, does something incredibly unique, puts a new perspective on it, puts a new time period on it. And now with this film, he takes the Predators through the ages, and we see all these different environments that this creature can murder his way through, hunt his way through, but also like the humans, the types of humans that can find strength in themselves to battle the impossible, right? And then the film does this really clever thing where it brings those seemingly disparate stories together and says, actually, this isn't an anthology. You've been watching a feature, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. And I just thought that was brilliant, just the structure of that. And we talked about this on our review, to take those mini stories, 15, 20-minute stories, and really be able to kind of bring out the character, the emotions of these characters, and have the audience get invested in those characters in such a short amount of time, where you have feature films that can't even do that. I mean, it just shows you just how skillful Dan Trachtenberg and the team around him are with telling the story.
This is their first animated film. It's Trachtenberg's first animated film. It's the studio's first animated film, and it looks killer.
It's crazy.
Pardon the pun. And I would love more Predator animated films like this one. Let's do a whole series of these things.
Oh, dude, I would love it. I would love it. That's my number 5. So who you want to go next with 4?
I'll go next with 4.
Okay, what you got?
Going with another adaptation. This is a Stephen King story that originally appeared in an anthology. It's a novella. It's called The Life of Chuck from director Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan makes a lot of Stephen King movies. Dr. Sleep, Gerald's Game. I love Gerald's Game. But The Life of Chuck is something a little bit different.
I missed this one.
A little sweet, it's a little bittersweet. There are horror elements, there are supernatural elements. The less you know about the life of Chuck, the better as you go into it. But as the film starts, it feels like in our very near future, and the world is kind of crumbling thanks to climate issues. And it gets pretty scary, it gets pretty apocalyptic. And there's this like odd thing that's happening in the background. The characters keep seeing billboards for this guy named Chuck, played by Tom Hiddleston. Like, what's the deal with this like specter figure that just keeps appearing in the background? And then as the film progresses and then twists and turns, and we learn why and what is going on with this film, it becomes actually a really affirming movie. A film that came to me at a time in which I really needed it. Because it does play on the fears of mortality and sickness and that kind of stuff. You haven't seen it yet, Brian.
I haven't seen it.
But you need to prepare yourself.
I'm trying.
Because you're going to cry.
I'm trying. I'm ready. I'm ready. If it does what 28 years later did, then
they're not
the same.
Similar, but they're also not similar.
So all right, we're going to go quickly because we're running a little short on time. But I know, man, we could talk movies all day. So my number 4 is Thunderbolts. I know we talked about this. I don't know why.
Thunderbolts is in your 5 and not Superman?
Dude, this movie, I knew you were going to call me out on that. Dude, Thunderbolts works for me in a way that I can't, it's hard for me to explain. I thought that, I know.
You're a unique person. And I'm sure there's many people who agree with you. That's
I know.
Okay. Don't, just ignore me. Ignore me. Talk about why you love Thunderbolts.
I like what they're speaking on with, to me, this movie feels like, out of all the Marvel movies that we've gotten over the last few years, this actually feels like a movie that it actually has something to say. And I'm not even talking about something to say in the grand scheme of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or as a comic book movie, but to me, this feels like it is really speaking to something when it's talking about mental health and mental illness. And, you know, people can debate if it goes deep enough or not. But for me,
people, you mean Brad.
no, I'm just things that I've heard online. But I don't know, for me, it just hit in a very particular way, especially with that character of Bob, especially with Yelena and where she is in the moment, within the moment in that movie. I know we had talked about this and you're right about it, where the movie does feel like it's just a couple of different set pieces, but I don't know, that's what I kind of find that I like about it. You know, I don't know, it's just something about that movie that really, it feels contained, and I think that is what I love about that. But yeah, that's my number 4. So I think we have the same number 3.
We do.
So our number 3 is Steven Soderbergh, who came back with Black Bag, a spy thriller that is kind of like a workplace drama about, really, to me, this movie is more about marriage and trust
and workplace relationships. And you should be careful what you do with your coffee. Steven Soderbergh put out 2 films this year. Early in January, Presence, and now Black Bag. Black Bag is just a rip-roaring good time.
It really is.
It's all in the conversation. It's all in the dialogue and in the performances.
The script is so well written.
The dining room
so tight.
table scene in the beginning, and then how that is mirrored at the end. Very satisfying. One gunshot blast is all you need. You don't need Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando slaughtering his way through all these characters. You just need Kate Blanchett with a pistol.
And that lie detector scene, still probably one of the best scenes I've seen all year. So good.
I know what I'm going to do when I am in the hot seat of a lie detector, a polygraph.
Yeah.
Gotta clench, Brian.
So those are our 3. We have different number 2s. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is a very Brad choice. You know, how dare I mock you for your Thunderbolts inclusion when I'm about to tell you that my second favorite film of the year is The Monkey.
Hey.
Oz Perkins, director of Long Legs, and The Black Totes.
Stephen King.
Yeah, it is a Stephen King adaptation based on a short story, same name. Does things a little bit like the short story does, but goes off on some wild tangents that only Oz Perkins is interested in, because he takes this Stephen King idea and he makes it a personal story, about loss and what his experience was like losing his mother during 9/11. And also, this movie is maybe the best Final Destination film of the Final Destination franchise. This film is crazy, gory, and violent. But there's heart there, there's pain there, and I was really moved by this gore fest.
Nice. Yeah, your love for The Monkey is really infectious, because I saw the movie, didn't love it as much as you did, but it is a movie that I have been thinking about, and I'm eager to rewatch it as well. My number 2 of the year so far is Celine Song's Materialist. I mean, we loved Past Lives from a couple of years ago. Didn't know what to expect coming into The Materialist. The way that this movie was kind of marketed, it's like a romantic comedy. It's really like more of like a romantic drama. But this movie, I think, is speaking to so many different things as far as like when it comes to relationships and how dating is in the modern world and what we as either men or women look for. And it's more than just checking the boxes. I think a lot of time we think that, especially in dating, it's all about, okay, if this person has this, and this, and they check all these boxes, then this is the right person for me. But we don't talk about the intangibles. And I think this movie beautifully kind of demonstrates and show like what those intangibles are and what it is that people need out of a relationship and what they need when they are dating. And it's done in the way Celine Song directs, it's done in such a beautiful way. Chris Evans, Dakota Johnson, and Pedro Pascal, I think, are doing some of their finest work here. Not the biggest fan of Dakota Johnson, but she really yeah, I know, that's just me personally.
Catching strays.
Well,
Dakota Johnson's great.
No, I mean, I like her. It's just, I don't know, but she's really, really good in this movie.
You can't hold Madam Web against her, Brian.
I'm trying not to. All right, quickly, I know we're running out of time in this segment, but our number one, we have the same number one movie. We've been talking about it. We're going to talk about it again in probably 6 months. I doubt I won't say that. But
if this is not our number one movie by the end of the year, something amazing has happened.
It's been a great year. Sinners.
Yeah, Sinners. Ryan Coogler. Where to even begin with this movie? It's a vampire film, I guess, but it's so much more than that. Yeah. That scene in the middle of the movie before really any of the supernatural shenanigans happens, where Preacher Boy sings "I Lied to You."
Yeah.
And spoilers, if you have not watched Sinners yet, stop listening. But when the entire space and time comes together through song, I haven't seen something that good in 25 years.
I mean, it's a visceral moment in
cinema. That is movies, man.
Yeah, it's a visceral moment in cinema. And then it speaks to so many different things. I wish we had more time to really get into Sinners. But everybody knows how we feel about that movie, and believe me, we will talk more about Sinners. Just keep watching the show. But yeah, those are our top 5 of the year so far.
Good year.
Yeah, guys, those are our top 5 movies of 2025. So stay right there. We are going to talk about what is coming out the rest of 2025 and what we're looking forward to for the rest of this year. Stay right there.
For all of life's poison risks, there's Poison Help. Poison Help is a free 24/7 hotline.
Hello, Poison Help?
That answers all of your poison questions. At home,
I might have taken too much medication.
at work,
I think I've breathed in chemical fumes.
and on the go.
They ate a mushroom. What do I do?
With expert guidance and treatment advice in over 100 languages. When poison happens, we're here for you. Just call Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Going to cheerleading camp next to the abandoned insane asylum, it's like throwing your blood away.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it.
Now that's scary.
All right, welcome back to the show. So we gave you our top 5 movies of the year so far. Now we're going to look ahead at the next 6 months of 2025 and let you know what we are anticipating for the rest of this year. Brad.
Yes.
All right, so we got some movies coming out at the end of this year that we are looking forward to.
Yeah, we just got the trailer for Edgar Wright's new movie, The Running Man. Speaking of Stephen King, is another adaptation of that story, a Richard Bachman novel. Those Richard Bachman novels that Stephen King, wrote under that pen name, they were always like the more demented and messed up stories. Like those were the Stephen King stories where he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be associated with this because I'm going to go so dark."
Really? How many has he written under that pen name?
Well, so like he was writing under Richard Bachman, and for a while people didn't know who Richard Bachman was. They didn't know that it was the same guy, and then somebody figured it out. And so I think there's like 6 books that were published before people knew that Richard Bachman was Stephen King, maybe 5 books. And then every now and again, Stephen King would still publish a Richard Bachman novel, like The Regulators. But The Running Man was one of those original Richard Bachman books. And it's about, a reality TV show, a game show in which desperate people put their lives on the line agree to be hunted and for sport and for popular entertainment.
Yeah.
And it was made into an 80s, I think it was 1987.
I believe.
The same year as Predator. Schwarzenegger made Predator, and then he made The Running Man. Very cheesy, very silly, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is with Glenn Powell. This is with Edgar Wright, a true stylist.
Yes.
I think this is going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah.
The trailer is showing that it's going to be different than the original movie. It's going back to the source material.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I never read the source material, but I do like how it feels different from the '87 movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and how they're taking the character. I forgot what the actor who played him.
The original guy from Family Feud.
I can't remember his name. It was on the tip of my tongue, but how they're taking Coleman Domingo, and it feels like Josh Brolin, and kind of taking that character and kind of splitting him in two and what it feels like. And then also, like you were saying, with that original film, how it kind of has a little bit of cheese to it. Having Edgar Wright come in and do this movie with his visual style and his sense of action and comedy, and watching that trailer and how Glenn Powell is playing it, I don't know. I'm excited for this movie.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Well, another movie that I'm looking forward to, and we talked about this in the last segment, I wanted to bring this up now. It comes out in November, I think, as well. It may be the same weekend, is Predator Badlands. We talked about Dan Trachtenberg. He did Killer of Killers. Now he's coming with the live-action Badlands movie that is back. We're back in theaters after being on Hulu for these last two movies. We're looking at a Predator as a protagonist in this movie, and that's something different and new and interesting. I'm not sure, when I heard that synopsis, I didn't know how that would actually work. Seeing the teaser trailer, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting, and I trust Trachtenberg and see what he can do.
And we have Elle Fanning playing like a Weyland-Yutani droid, so we are getting some Aliens franchise stuff in here too. And I'm telling you, I think we're going to get a surprise in this movie.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And I like what I've been hearing from Dan Trachtenberg when he's asked about Alien and Predator. He said the best way to do an Alien versus Predator movie is to not tell people it's an Alien versus Predator movie.
Be it?
It could
we
be.
Get a xenomorph in this film?
I think so.
This movie looks like an old 90s Dark Horse Comics adaptation of Predator.
Okay.
I loved those books growing up.
Yeah.
Dan Trachtenberg certainly has read those comics as well. And yeah, based on Killer of Killers, like, we're gonna have a good time with this one too.
Oh, absolutely. What's so you got something else?
Guillermo del Toro's got a new movie coming out.
Thought you were going
film,
there. I
right?
thought you were going
It's
there.
Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Like another story that we have experienced many times over. The trailer is fine.
I love that trailer.
I like it. I like it. I like the look. I like the cast. Tone, I'm not 100% sold on yet. But I also feel like Del Toro's movies don't necessarily reveal themselves in totality in their trailers. So I'm still extremely optimistic. But you know, Guillermo del Toro has been wanting to tell like the Frankenstein story for a long time, and in some ways he's told it several times already through other narratives. So to have him finally dig into Mary Shelley and give us something is exciting. And I hope we get some kind of theatrical release and it's not just stuck on Netflix.
No. And speaking of that, I'm going to stick with Netflix because this movie actually did get a theatrical release with the last installment. This is Rian Johnson coming back with his third Knives Out mystery movie, which is Dead Man. Oh goodness, why am I Wake Up Dead Man?
Dead Man Walking?
No,
Wake Sean Penn.
Wake Up Dead Man. Again, he's put together a great ensemble cast. There's a teaser trailer that's out for it now that's only maybe less than a minute long, but tonally it feels darker. And granted, I think it will kind of have some humor. I loved Glass Onion. Glass Onion is a little more goofier than Knives Out, even though Knives Out does.
I prefer Glass Onion.
I actually like Glass Onion a little bit better than Knives Out as well. Dead Man, Wake Up Dead Man. I keep forgetting that title. Wake Up Dead Man. It looks like it could shift in something completely different, but I love the cast because of what he did with those two movies before. I'm excited to see what he does
Yeah.
with this one to kind of wrap up this trilogy. Now, I know Netflix had the deal for these 2 movies. I hope we get more Benoit Blanc movies, but I would love to see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
So if his deal with Netflix is done and he continues with this character, I would love to see him do more
I
movies
also
on
want
the
to see
big
Ryan
screen.
Johnson make other movies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's been caught in this world
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
He finally got his trilogy, you know? It might not be
Yeah.
Star Wars related, but he got his trilogy.
He got his
But I want to see him
trilogy.
do other things too.
Yeah, anything else you want to mention?
I just want to say that there's a film coming out that I think has a killer trailer. It's called Weapons. I don't exactly know what it's about,
Same,
but a
same.
school teacher, all her students one night leave their homes and disappear, and Josh Brolin's the father of one of those missing kids. And the trailer is really scary, and I think it's going to be pretty darn violent too. It's from the director of Barbarian, which was one of the more surprising horror films recently. So yeah, Weapons. Got to see that with a crowd.
I'm going to stay in December around Christmas time. I know you're not the biggest fan of this
Yeah, I'm gonna
Cameron.
leave.
No,
gonna walk
no, come on, man. It's not. Is it that bad? No. James Cameron is back again with the new
Sure
Avatar movie. This
Yep.
one is Fire and Ash.
Yeah, did you hear the runtime on this one? It's 12 hours long.
It might be. I'll be there. I'll be there with my 3D glasses on. So, but yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like coming out of the first Avatar in 2009, it took 2022 is when Way of Water, so that was 13 years, and we didn't really know if he still had that thing that was going to really bring people back into the theater.
Some people were wondering that.
Some people were wondering that. I know some people probably still wondering that. For me, I thought that he nailed it. I loved Way of Water. To me, it kind of solidified the fact, personally for me, I really like this world. I like these characters. I want to see where this goes. I want to see where these characters and this family goes. I like that he's introducing a new area of Pandora that we haven't seen before. And again, I think the 3D is amazing.
Yeah, look, I'm going to be there, okay? James Cameron's a great filmmaker. I just don't like this world. I'm different than you. But I can't deny the filmmaking, and I can't deny the passion that he puts into Pandora. And I'd be a fool not to show up day one and watch any of these Avatar movies.
Yeah. Anything else this year?
I think that's it. Fantastic Four just came out, but we haven't watched it yet as of this recording. And so I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four.
August, there's a couple of things coming up that I'm looking forward to. Nobody 2, which we've talked about.
Timo Tehonto directing.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see how he's going to translate to American cinema with a little bit of his style as well. Also in August, we have some new ones from Darren Aronofsky, who feels like he's doing something different than what people know of with that movie Caught Stealing. I don't know if you know. I don't know if it's something that I'm anticipating.
Not a fan. Not a fan of Darren Aronofsky.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
We can talk about this off air. I don't want to steer us into a dark place, but I can't stand his film. Movies. I'm more excited about the films that I don't know. Like, there's the films that are going to be the surprises of the fall, right?
Yeah.
That's always the case. I guarantee you our top 10 is going to have a bunch of movies that we don't know the titles of yet.
Dude, that's always the beauty, and we say this every year. It's like that's one of the beauties about film and discovering like all these things that we don't, that we aren't anticipating, and especially coming into the Oscar season with a lot of these movies that'll be coming out that we don't really know much about, that might hit us in certain ways, that might surprise us. So yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to come out that's really going to surprise. Oh, there is another movie that I did want to mention. We got a little bit more time. I don't know if you're looking forward to this.
Toxic Avenger, Peter Dinklage. I've seen it already.
yeah, I know. You saw that like
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Fantastic face.
No, I can't believe I didn't mention this. Tron Ares.
Yeah.
Really?
Jared, what's his face? Morbius. I don't need to see this guy.
I don't think this movie is going to hinge on Morbius. We just talked about in the last episode Joseph Kosinski and how you love.
Is he directing it?
No, he's not. But it's still you're still coming back to this world.
Okay, I don't care.
You don't care?
Get Morbius off my screen.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I can't deny. I ain't gonna lie, I've been looking forward to Tron Ares for a while. We did get that one trailer, and it did kind of sell me a little bit more on it.
Like bringing Tron into our world,
which I wasn't expecting that.
It's just not what I want. I want to go to Tron. I want to go to Tronland and stay in Tronland.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see what Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross do with the
I'll
score.
buy the soundtrack.
All right, we'll end it right there. We'll give the soundtrack to Tron Ares. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for us. So those are our most anticipated movies of the year, and you also heard our top 5 movies of 2025 so far. So, all right, so thank you for joining us on this latest episode of B&B Movie Reviews. Come be a part of the conversations. If you have questions, suggestions, feel free to email us at bnbmoviereviews@gmail.com. And with that, we will see you at the movies.